company. So why should it be like that? Should they merge them now?
In the past, it was the other way around when community water have been struggling, but now it's now the reverse. Community water is doing very well. When you go to the communities, they are doing very, very well. But seriously, you hear me?
All right, so some people are calling for their merger. I don't know how well that will help us.
I can.
Befio Ghana Water Hedola Community Water Maga Ifimio.
Yes.
Fi Kemeyo La Fimia Community Water and Sanitation Towai. So if we are not seeing the effectiveness of the mother body, yeah, the umbrella one, although the mushroom one, if a door is more, effective than the mother body, then what should we be calling on now? Is it the overhauling of the system, top managing down to, or just management level?
I think it's about just putting measures in place, like, and also the right people in position.
I don't even know. We have
honestly, the measure, I will not call for measure, because the people who are managing the mother company, they are behind this mess right now. Let me use the word mess. So why should we add the...
So I was like, we should put in the right people there.
No, the right
everybody is right.
These people, they have the qualification, they understand that they have the experience, they can work. That's why they have been employed.
Yes.
So what is the issue? What is it that is making it difficult for them to detect faults earlier? If this were to be detected earlier,
at least foresee that this thing is coming to happen. Yeah. That is also going to happen.
And at least as a big company like that, you should be doing maintenance work as time to time to know whether this is not working, this is not working. Then that's it.
Okay. Since we are talking about Ghana Water, we are still talking about Ghana Water. We'll come back, bring you some biography of the presidency-elect and some other issues, but we're still talking about water. Water is life. We have joining us briefly. It's just going to be a brief conversation. Good to have him here in the studio. So we'll get to that conversation shortly. Get a few information from the director of PURC, the Public Utility Regulatory Commission, Mr. Philip Agwesido, joining us for a brief discussion. Let's get a few things from him. Exactly what the situation is. I understand this morning that they are going to meet the media. I don't know when. Water company, there are things, they don't give timelines to their staff, so they just throw it at you and then you believe in it. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well. It's only that water is not available for us.
Well, I know you as a person, you are sorted.
No. From where?
Oh.
Yeah, we don't have any alternative apart from probably getting something from the boreholes in town. So we don't have.
So it's the same issue with everyone?
Yes.
All right. So how did we get here? Face Ghana Water refused to speak.
It's actually, I prefer that you speak to Ghana Water.
We tried. Even right now, just reading a few things from them.
Yes. We also saw a release that they made a few minutes ago. But I'm really on my way to Beve. I want to go and have another update so that this issue we can speak about it. But all is about the pump.
Yeah.
They were having about 3 pumps and all. They all developed faults.
So now all the three are developed.
all the three. And those of us who are very close, we know the magnitude of the issue.
Okay.
So yes, they try to fix the system, but I think they are still having some difficulties. So I want
to. All 3 pumps. How many years now?
Oh, it depends. Tell me, Kemi, no. I probably want a technical monitoring. Other colleagues so chuna akravana for technical. So me pay. Ghana Water, the major problem now is pump. They always have pump issues, and because I'm not surprised about this whole thing. I'm not surprised. I foresee this thing long ago.
Okay.
Yes, and if we all want to be fair to ourselves, some of them too may also know that this thing one day it will happen, it will not be an easy thing. So
on the path of Ghana Water, I'm not proactive. I'm not for don't go. since even you are not directly, but you've realized you foresee bende ajo like if the company itself meton dejesi hewa do de unami
o
kabao.
menye de mo de jeshi gake wa de jeshi gake do hin ono okpobe aleke yo I put in the system in place like ekpobe menye the procurement wise menye the share of procure at the regional level da wow to shi wa kodo de ge gake ne ge to mo chure no kaba yo one ya be enwo na chimegbala
Okay.
ofia mi do ofia and to me as an individual and as somebody who work with them I'm not surprised. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not
So
surprised.
all three pumps Egblem, so how like a supply level vanami which of the pumps gazami
No,
left?
Fifi like I mean a pump akata Glen Arohi shaft as at yesterday la me sebe uko shaft at the big umete fisio. Ta ejebedo yoga to toga irakra. Ta
Okay.
benye anything I talk can happen maybe. Kakema imava.
I have a
My mava. Ne chomi afong. My mava. My mava.
we are getting now.
My mava de don't need to
All right, so tell
I
us
feel
the
mirofia.
release you said you read a while ago. What does it contain?
Oh, Doku no Nananya Yabo repair works still is ongoing. Yeah.
It's the same thing. All right, so Tanwi Yimia Wokonyebe, we should continue, struggling with each year for the number of days. Nami had deminyawa until whatever time they've announced where you were dovola. You bete mi no mesigbeko.
Ekwabe, we Jojo, Ekwabe raw water from Beve. Pump ya give a treatment plant, ye have problem. As a government, raw water, lama have a treatment plant. Have your treat, have your ado them. Ta nenye be tefema there is no water coming to Hopeki where it's a virus so kata echi ya de kemen ne ma de pochile pipe me by this time that is a miracle water.
Oh, okay. So me no lalam.
Mejibe nye to my garo for me
Ntone
ya
va vakpɔ nu yi ke gale dzi yim koa mia gbogbo age ɖe edzi ake mi da kpe be ge ɖe mia dzi at least mi se be raw water machine ke akɔ etsi akɔ ge ɖe treatment plant
yeah.
so it means that treatment plant ye le
Yeah,
faulty
for my
no.
problem alema.
Alright.
The machine pump ke a he chicho beve me I cover treatment plant. I feel do them here for my problem alema.
Okay, thank you so much. Moji nenyo,
Yo.
dogbeche nenyo nemi negbo kwa mia ase nu chocho. Mamleta kona mia penya salao.
Yo.
Okay, so mia penya salao yenye ma. Ike. All right, so let's take a breather. When I come back, I'll bring a few things to your attention. All that we've been hearing from the mother company, I don't know what they are shielding anyway. Just coming publicly, and more in particular, earlier on, I understand that from one of the callers that all machines, from the boss, just PRC, and you it means that obete kule yala umengale functioning properly, and I know that 2 is down. Like Emile one manage for now. So the 3 that we have, the 3 pumps, so if it collapse, then where would we be getting water? So we cannot conclude that it is all 3. But what is happening now is raw water. I have border and yima uhenami. Let there be water. Hey water ever. For amebetofe zaza. Ele eye moikel elone genade treatment plant emea. Yache eloto. Like treatment plant entonto. AI developed for the 50 according to Mr. Philip. Ike PU yenye PRC tope dota to ike Ghana water anton tope PR Madam I don't so Naya. Okay, so I don't know why Naya is not speaking. Then the commercial manager Wisdom Semevo is the one doing the speaking. I don't know why you are behaving this way. Gake mioya mi se ho. Gake de nenye bo yi gbo no chocho yi ke achofu manamia mia anamia. Yeah, so this is it.
You say why the PRO herself is not speaking?
Yes, she hardly speaks. No, she doesn't even, she hardly writes. Yes.
And what petema, so no chef obeyed the school in a dodita, and yakbot dog occupy position. These are the some of the, this kind of works are practical jobs. They are practical works. Neme nyamona no nyakak blogegbo. So the one who is speaking now, he has been there for years. So basically, that, aside from that one, Ghana water actually said o kododa mi o tretna. Me vo mi ave tapa makbado le tapa me po.
Okay. All right.
Me fu type amakbado le che me po.
No, my experience came here.
When you may experience it. Amakba. So many they said and the masses are they can attest to it. Maybe they said me. I mean if I had it now.
So even if all right, so it's the pump that will pump a check on the treatment plant and may has developed fault. So the treatment plant is okay, but it can make raw water.
What I do show.
I get a treatment plant
yes. And
you
I agree. We are me no fear. Me foresee problem. The whole is expanding. The whole yesterday, the population he no who see who call plenuma he fixed that I mi nyambe mi gbogboso ga unya nma and he mi the gboso mi no really do. We were shouting for expansion. Me do really kele fear wa. We were shouting for we were shouting for expansion. We were shouting for maintenance, and we even make some references where they only know how to paint their walls, buy new cars.
I'm never watch you avo.
Oh, avoid allergy every year. Why design avoid?
Yeah. Someone told me that this morning.
Oh, and menya.
Paint white and blue.
Yes.
So wall. Watch you avo. I have an audio if you have but one issue also, one point raises most of the things at the regional level cannot be procured. So when they ride to headquarters, hello, national mayor, release funds, hello, mayor, now go ahead, some of these issues comes up because over the period, expansion work scale, tama, obe yole yongla
gbanle kodo de ge
ola gbanle ya ngolo ola gbanla ngolo ndo duwa na gbanle he ngolo le anye ndodo ya demia je ko meva do pon
ekpode seriously I will also not blame the executives here so much. Akenye tema ga gbolo perembe afuto masema seva vumele la.
You are not pushing hard.
Let me pay bills where they go hemi here fika go ina.
Me bills here.
We are paying.
Because I understand even ECG is having technical and commercial issue and they are making some losses.
No,
okay. Every now and then
what Ghana what I thought the work but mele chief here.
They don't even come to say anything
Yes,
major before.
it means we are paying.
But have you remembered that your will copy ECG?
ECG no wa flyers there.
Baby, you are. I get a
Commission,
Atuchinamo. Did you hear that one? So it means it's peculiar.
Odo, Efebodo, they over whatever they can get, they get it. So they are comfortable. They went back to their offices. It means what we are paying. No, you never hell day. Yeah, me and all around. Me and all phone cost the radio. ECG, ECG were differently. Fine, you
with
can.
All these flyers and all of that, ECG is still running at a loss. Doko yomele breakdown. Na me meten le gegere Ghana water penya o metututu as ECG.
So it means na mere hemele no forever problem fa me le okay.
And the rippling effects.
Eya kele mi agbo fefela. Eya ke po mi le fefela.
Ni na fi echinya ba doa akobe amadoa no tu chinu abe ohu chinu gba ebi you get your back lecture get 2 days am chipo
The rationing.
And no one is able to tell.
That is the worst decision
Tuesdays,
they have taken.
We know that brown people will have it. So tell let but Tuesday la. Once upon a time he shared one timetable. It never worked.
It never worked. Yes.
Another day.
No Monday. Maybe I got Chipotle Wednesday, but that Wednesday maybe Thursday or Friday after Chipotle.
So everyone know our schedule. I will open one in a room so. Akparo akpojo, my over Amaroma akpojo. It is difficult for what and everyone know.
Seriously.
And also one issue. They are not
open like. Communicate or tell us what
if the media cannot even get to the PRO to say hello even on any of the radio stations she came to introduce herself, and you are talking of the public, because when they speak to us automatically the public gets the information. So if it is difficult, if the commercial manager is now doing the PR job whilst the PRO is there, so why are we paying you? Why are you here?
So I tell you qualify for the position.
Yeah, feel they appoint or yes, and they also go have a certificate.
Assignments are like do you PR do like you have to communicate, like give information out there to the media. But then, mele director onzo. To me, I share a portion near each avadua.
Oh, Matuakpo Fasino.
Well, people are calling for demonstration against the Ghana Water Company.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know how.
It is long overdue.
That we demonstrate against them. Is that going to awaken them from their sleep?
Maybe. Seriously, how come this 2025? 2024
no, it's second.
Second year
announcement.
But surely, but 2025 is a problem at Toge. Problem at Toge. We can't be having this in this year. Nemi global if you nkuhule my global chanki mi nkume ya no anai mi nkiano kitofesi ga kefifila yara, we shouldn't be having this problem.
So
and menonyare gbolo very mele sika mele galam say wale few vote mele galam say wale ume gbolo wale sika kutala obuluchie na ata machine choke machine wale we thank God we are not from that area. So nuka hawa they have to protect even hey galam say nya ke hey jokra. There are calls very soon the Accra, those Ashanti Radio will be importing water from here. Is that not the call? And what has changed? I understand when 2000 former President Kufuor's era, Coca-Cola company is supposed to be cited at Beve because of that water. And what has changed? Chile Fimiza to produce Coca-Cola, supply now maybe the whole Africa. You feel like we check.
Well, The conversation will not end now until Echewubo Jedodo, and it's our duty now.
The board chairman for the Ghana Water, Mr. Patrick Boama, MPP MP for Kaikwe. Menyaba unku biafia ole sitevle le sigbo Gakedi, but I don't know whether he one way or the other listen to us. He should come. Never Bologna then
He
Mile
will
fee.
soon expire. His of tenure will soon
Yes,
expire.
but yeah, he still have to give us an account. A doki who got decide like way a gawe bill a heavy hole of cocodo there.
Sometimes you
See,
don't
Mede,
hear.
Nele-
America take over from a year. You will be in the states. After ya chewa a carry on. Kemi no
Okay.
vai la minya we will take off. I can actually think
Bologna
Bologna
leko.
na mi o vaga va
Cheba no me sigbie.
then do sigbie ko do ezo seka mi etogodo ro mi leme.
It's just bad. The situation is bad.
All right, so tomorrow is going to be a great day
Yeah.
in the history of Ghana. The comeback president will be sworn in, and then it means that midnight. So a dodger go make it. So midnight, kaka wako gere a chomela. Parliament chegale unogbe kemi akwako gere chome for our MPs. What happens to the recollated MPs, the redeclared MPs? When we understand Bomele will recognize gay in Parliament today, is it going to be another tussle for us? Miagavakbo in this ninth Parliament. Dr. Bella will be joining us from 9 to 10, and then we'll get some of these things, clarification. Like nyayon, la be, yo memilia, be miano nume koko kudenu jojo won't see. But before then, I said we'll be taking you to the portals and share a few of the headlines, and as well, if the details are available, we'll bring some to you as well.
So on City Newsroom, the 8th Parliament set to be dissolved today. Like you earlier on said, so the Ghana's 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic will officially be dissolved today, January 6, 2025. There, they will pave way for the inauguration of the 9th Parliament. So today will mark the end of the legislative term that will begin tomorrow, which is January 7th. That began.
That'll be 12/01. Could we get a chomedi?
Yeah, so
Egbe for 4 me. Egbe.
why not go to 12 midnight?
Yeah, 12 midnight. So
We do a
01.
new day,
Yeah,
7
new.
January.
Yeah.
So that's it. And also, Mahama endorses Alban Baldwin as Speaker of the 9th Parliament.
So
President-elect.
he pledged the all the Yobe airport qualifier. That he continue with the main match.
I am not happy with his selection anyway.
Why?
Because of his personality, integrity, because it is this thing that people are perceiving there. Okay, he helped the opposition to win power. So no, whatever, what will be his demeanor, his posture meeting the ninth Parliament? Seriously, so my opinion, I don't want.
He helped the opposition.
That is how some people are saying, because of the way things played out in the 8th Parliament.
When the Supreme Court, I think all this thing started when the Supreme Court, when you're making running back to the Supreme Court, and those 3 MPs going independent.
So if I were to be him, I would have taken a backstage. I'll sit down there for someone else to take over.
You know whether they justify the last things that happened in Parliament was his justify, paving way for maybe his appointment as the Speaker of Parliament.
Yes. So that in all this, that's why I said if I were to be him, I would have just go home, sit down, and watch everything on TV, and let them run their things, because of integrity's sake.
He has a long profile anyway.
Yes.
As it stands now.
Yes.
He has a long profile.
A
We'll
very
share that
long,
one
very
also
long
with you.
profile. Yes, very long profile.
Well, even when that single person, les amame he edako, he wokpo jijeje America ma hoji obu nazara monuza. Now of us opposition member vanye speaker. in a hang parliament. Miko no o jego me pele paper dudu. Miko no me yes.
Paper, order, le pa, dio verde, paper, lea. Lo ko dare museum, lo.
Yeah. Paper wale no fi because run but I'm sure by now all this card the mega nya fi the wole fi.
But I think this the eighth parliament has been the most interesting.
Yes.
Chaotic? Was it chaotic? Was it interesting? Or
From
it
the
wasn't
beginning,
that bad, though.
it's not that
It
bad.
wasn't that bad.
And I have been saying I want that kind of parliament. I
Again.
want the numbers like that.
So now we want a balanced. Can we ever get a balanced parliament? No, because Alabama don't know what the parliament do. Even with this one, we have 4
But
independents.
I'm very sure the next election we'll get something close to that.
All right. So with this, from the beginning until recollation, you ever get them all. First in history, minority was slimmer than any other Igemi
Yes.
ever had. So I probably know the things are not the same again.
So it's just a wake up call to these people. They me feel vote na you that hey me vale concert to a parliament house where you have me win power opete. Na ya ga foko le ya ko for that be bad there. It's a wake up call, seriously.
But the eighth parliament in general, now from the
Beginning.
the stars, the Buhari and stuff. I mean, but MP, I don't know, don't go to queue like
Yes.
yourself out there to the general public. And also,
Would you say that also affected them at the
Because-
polls?
Yes.
Because
It
as an
is.
individual, you are showing yourself or you are representing a constituency. Then you go to the parliament house and doing, let's say, a ruffian behavior there. Excuse my words.
Say honorable ruffian. Honorably.
Yeah. That's why I said, excuse my words though this morning, but then I think,
It's okay you use that word. Okay,
Yes.
just that onye amechichi
Oh, yeah.
But they know themselves. The speaker has once told them be open on a moina be mega valley parliament. So.
And you remember Kwame Mero Crash his stand be you are a parliament. Well, called the Feko ye. Mero his stand for the
last
the
election.
last election for the 9th parliament. But last one parliament lo me no tutu le fi me lo ta nchema put on weight weight last year nchema yi.
Who and who? Make it
But
But
this time-
when you
okay.
see most of the candidates, they are prepared for the war.
We had young faces.
Yes.
We had young faces. Yoga about the weleme. Yesterday me senucho the Tema Central or Kaikwe and the Hablekuma North. You chofer issue currently.
And seriously, some of the returning officers of the EC, the Ochomen Jagba, and by all the same, open door.
Well-
I'll not for them too much anyway.
The 8th Parliament and Namigede Constitution Gbogboza.
Yeah.
That's one thing I liked about it.
Yes.
Even though in the hang Parliament, and no decision making the way me feel be man no. Man the rubber stamp to my home value. Still they had their way.
Oh yes.
Severally,
some of the
they
things
had their
must
way.
go.
They had their way.
You see the last bill they presented concerning the tax waivers, approval of
Of
those.
course.
Sigbon 11 no from the beginning to the end. Gake, some of the things there, it goes down to policy decision. Some of them must go into work.
We understand the committee level, they will agree. But when they
Yes.
come on the floor, then they make the usual noise for us to think that they are
Yes.
against it. Kemi Bale
Ejo.
it passes. I get last minute for the votes, for the cameras. And Wubu Ejo. All right, so we're still going to experience, God willingly, Niano Agbeakpo, the 9th Parliament.
Yes.
Akpobe Leke Ache Ano. Is it going to be a smooth one than the previous majority parliament? You're not a hang parliament. The governing party taking the majority. Is it going to be the same? Allo the promises. Benoma ganoko. Abele ike onovaye no de. What are your expectations of this government? I know it's so high, and when you visit social media every now and then, Amedele Ndengolo, Ike Fiabella, Ghana has green la, elebe green and ejel afi see afi, and they reflect me up a dome asieme everywhere. Already I'm mobile. Oh, do you hold it and moment did like oh me budget and trouble I'm your dozy. But you know, yesterday I was conversing with someone upon your baby so do it. I'm more I feel go.
And keke didi unula. Chota mo
It's a
declare.
man. It's a month after the election.
Edidi too much.
Oh, month because of transition.
Yeah.
Okay, look at top of the me envisage ajo. Maybe by nuka a runoff.
Runoff didn't happen. Like a recollation waiver job.
Honestly, man for meadows 7 power.
Well, it looked long anyway. And this time around, a jab bank Gigi.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are.
Yeah.
Finally.
But new mark the 2024 elections are go Ghanaians so this time so mega they are dumb or like they'll just keep quiet. Okay, what you want to do, go and do it. This time I want to shama no pom, I shama no shrum. Ni one ya shama like a shama pleto like a pom. So miaka nkuavu. Nkuvu so no more offer the dashing you from the MPs to the president himself. Nemi gava oh no votes now you me I got 10 cities 20 Ghana. Nyana ko even na nyama ho ga drive ma vote ga no. Cho. Ora wow we. So ya go be amesha menu so no offer the dashing you. Gbe you do no pe you meti wo ga no do mo ga da alo wa feel proud do be okay you glitter you work there so no na communication are there
Ghanaians so set this
no
time.
communication are there
2028 is going to be tougher than 2024.
Yeah.
Many in the sense of post-election violence, you make Paul or many of those ones.
Yeah.
So even with that, LB easy after all of this. If Jean Mensa will still be there or not, I don't know, and I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
But if she will still be there, she will not tender in her own resignation, or someone will not force her to resign, or she will not. You see, I don't want it to even look like every government is appointing, every government is appointing.
That's my point.
I would wish that she still maintain.
Yes, enough man.
That can no make sure be a seer the quack balam play. Fee ko jagolea. Then office I can Senegal a cool play. I can't believe no le fumala information no popo add the full. But now me left me or bone if you want to get information. I think it's more difficult.
There are people around him who are working. So Antonto and imagine no day down, none of me. Kimia make it all here for Kennedy. You all have no answer question away. No, he have no dead order, no dead order. For example, and make Dr. Sribo air cries out of coverage. Seriously.
All right, so would you say be Ewumo Nojo and she
none of me.
Okay.
Then they're more like dumb and people get promotion.
But your boy Leava Tulo.
But the boss is always she's always there. The boss should always be there. But other people who are in line for promotion, they will get promotion, get to their position, and help her deliver. Can me try make it all hell on your mislead.
So we'll call this ones sorry boy and then the others as the technocrats.
Yes.
We'll call them as the technocrats.
Yes.
But your they are to assist, support the madam
to work.
So would we say that your chair umetenga wa offer dollar or the invisible hand voice away still?
And so
our system has become so loose that
those technocrats that surround her to deliver.
No deserve what?
No deserve where maybe they are not up to tax. Seriously.
And the people who bring in will not tag them party faithfuls again, saying that they have party cards. Like you know, everyone is affiliated.
That
to
is why I said
party.
there are people working in electoral commission. A lot of them are due for that position.
Okay.
A lot of them are due, so they should give them that promotion. Then they get to that position and also deliver whatever they have been doing for years.
It's the power of the president to appoint to
the
chair.
Okay, so I'm advising. Yes, get to that position. So deputy electoral commission or electoral commissioner, deputy 1, deputy 2, opete amule dome. You should look around the 16 regions. by all means.
To fit in there.
Yes.
But
Ike once again.
do you
will
know-
not
do you know
look
that
through
some
that
people-
that
person
political
as-
Do you know
hand.
that some people are serving as returning officers for so many years now?
Yes, people have been there.
So they
for long.
they know the job. Practically, they know it. They will help us come out of this kind of defects, throwing out figures anyhow.
So I thought before we're using the choral draw system.
It is because they are not closer to final decision making. They made their input from the regions. And what happened? For example, let me use Mr. Jawasu for example. Do you want to tell me Mr. Jawasu is not capable of becoming deputy EC?
I cannot say. I cannot say.
Okay.
yes or
See,
no.
and it's one thing you are capable, but when you are given the mandate or the job to do, can you deliver? That's the question. As well.
And that's why I said people have been occupying that office for years, from 1992. I'm a returning officers for all these years. Me record na errors. So they don't record errors. But
someone
what
will
is
tell
happening
you that
now?
it has been the case. Gakero Kovaji about this time round.
Very errors.
So maybe we had issues then. Ake open do ele mi obete mi a react. I stand against ngbele I stand for no nua maybe e yakwe meten do moda belle over le fifio. So going forward, let's see. We don't know what's in the sleeves of the government. What will happen?
Yes.
Okay.
So let me bring you one story from City Newsroom concerning the speaker, Alban Kisford Bagby. He said, I will fully rededicate myself to the task ahead.
It's a rededication.
So he's assuring Mahama. So the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumani Bagby, has pledged to do more than before and fully dedicate himself to the task ahead if confirmed as the Speaker of Ghana's 9th Parliament. His commitment follows a directive from the President-elect John Dramani Mahama, who instructed the NDC parliamentary leadership to nominate Bagby for the role of Speaker in the 9th Parliament in the 4th Republic. President-elect Mahama, describing Bagby as a seasoned leader with extensive experience, expressed confidence that his leadership will be crucial in navigating the challenges facing the legislative arm of government. In accepting the nomination, Speaker Bagby expressed sincere gratitude to the President-elect, NDC leadership, and the party's parliamentary executive for entrusting him with their responsibilities. You know, in the past, Speaker Bagby contested John Mahama in one of the primaries.
Yes. I think that was 2015.
Yes.
Getting towards
And
2016
you know,
election.
Bagby's one of his main targets is to become president of Ghana. So making him number 3, are they not paving the way to now like struggle power with the John Mahama he knows? John Mahama, who works under him in the Parliament House. Is it not a way? Are they not clearing the path for him? You know, there is in the past, John Mahama appointed Iti Mensah, Speaker Bagby, and I think Kospogara, one of them, as the wise men. What happened? Ejireva Jolo. And I heard John Mahama in an open space said those who want to see his back, they should wait after his tenure of office, they should come in. So me, seriously, I will say it again. I will not support Bagby in that position to work with John Mahama. These are basic facts there that everybody is covering. Okay, it also mean on oble. I can't the feature. It's not as if I'm boom speed to you, but these are simple things. I am seeing that in the near future it will happen. Seriously, maybe me mark it that.
But my abe do man you pour do kill me or nyabe like Okwe Uwe, valued in the 8th parliament.
Oh,
so
it's not,
Philabo,
no, fine.
is the right
that
choice
one
for
is
now.
there, but I am
Now
telling you
we
the
bring them up.
relationship between them. They were not best of friends before. They were not best of
Is
friends.
it, elections always bring in is, because I want to come to power, I want to win, I want to be the people's choice. So we'd say all manner of things about other contestants or your contenders, which must not
I
be
agree.
the case. Like, if anyone pokpon nuya or gakia
I
always
agree.
happens.
I
So
agree.
if, as a result of that, he doesn't want him, so he said quite a number of things. I'm sure, Spio Gabra is also there. Now he's back to the scene.
Yes.
We heard from them. Dr.
And all those people, Joshua Alabi,
Joshua
Alabi
Alabi,
is
the recent
also,
one, the recent doc that contested,
uh,
the EIB director,
okay, Chairman
the former finance minister. What have I forgotten his name?
So-
Also
so all these
had
were
issues, but now
interest
he,
groups. All these were interest groups, and they carry their interests ahead of them.
now I was not given the
Yeah,
nod, so I have to
yeah.
come back and work for the party. The versus a vida ten no lame, but I'm sure over the period.
Make
So-
sure
so my
my
issue
water
is-
resolve issue.
Yes,
man.
So
internally.
my issue
let's
is,
move
how
on, yeah.
will you feel if you maybe suggest something on what something should be done, and the president, somebody you have next,
Well, for
say,
this time,
hey,
you may
no.
call issue the care, mega call beefing
Yeah.
alone.
oh, for now there will not be. I am talking about the future.
Sure he will,
Yeah.
want
Come
to-
out publicly.
No,
Come
I
on
am
to
talking
say
about
to-
the future, not now. For some time now, the issue seems to be dissolved anyway, or to be resolved.
So why should
But
it come up again in the
it-
near future, affecting? Because
We-
it's your government that's going to affect.
Yeah.
If you want
Exactly.
to put your personal interest.
We did not see this coming when they were part of the three wise men, and you heard the kind of things they were saying. Why is it that the late E.T. Mensah should go and accept a position in Kufuor's government as elder of
Chancellor.
Council of State? Why? Because
Okay.
of some
That's
of
his
these things.
personal decision anyway, because of one of two things you have mentioned. But if those were still, party and to now look you, they'll sit and decide. Even though I'm not sure he's and top of the cafe decision
Decision, yeah.
one year for him to be maintained.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wish they would nominate another person alongside.
Well, I also feel that we're going to get a woman
Yes.
again. Yes, I was thinking we are going to get
Yes.
another
Oh,
woman.
okay, but
Since
we
we
were
have
woman number 2, the woman with number 3. No.
Oh,
No,
Megboloni, because
no,
this
no.
parliament
No.
number ogadidi, you know, for parliament no number ogadidi. So I
Yes.
was thinking that a woman
The woman should come
again
in.
will come back because Nchue no any 8th parliament.
Then they
The
should go.
7th
Then
parliament,
they should go for the
Nchue,
Chief Justice.
and then the 9th
Tokoro
parliament.
You can't
Kanu.
tell,
No,
is it?
no, don't
You
go do
can't
that. Petition there. Oh no, we want her to continue to be where she is. Anyway, are you done? We want to
Yeah,
read a few
so on
biographies.
City Newsroom still, court to rule on NPP's bid to lift injunction against Ernest Kumi swearing in the. So the Kufurida High Court has scheduled Monday, January 6, which is today, to deliver its judgment on the parliamentary election petition for the Akwetia constituency. The court, presided over by His Lordship Justice Senyo Amedeha, sat on Sunday, January 5th, to hear an application filed by the legal team of the New Patriotic Party parliamentary candidate, Ernest Kumi, challenging an earlier injunction issued by the same court there. Takobe Ernest Kumi, MPP top parliamentary candidate. So parliamentary candidate for the Akwetia constituency.
Oh,
man.
look at me, Toya Legend Ogeza. And as it stands now,
I don't know if we are going to be having two MPs coming to parliament now.
no, it will
And
not happen.
The interesting thing is
the-
that the
If,
three.
if,
Parliament-
if we don't want to accept the recollected results, If you say we are not going to recognize them, what does that mean?
See, I would
You're
say
talking about Nokoti, they will not be in
they will
parliament,
not be in
as
parliament.
serve their constituencies.
Yes,
So
that's
we'll
what
say
it
they were-
means. And I'm saying EC should do the honorable. You see, all these things should be dissolved and reruns should be organized.
I
Simple.
thought at a point that was going to be the case. Ballot pink sheets all missing.
Missing.
Ballot papers have been bent. Split already.
So they should just organize
The
reruns.
next thing is
Simple.
give us some time, according to the constitution, for printing, reprinting, and all of that. So me and work on that. Another free, fair election.
Ever.
I thought that was going to, but since I am not here, I'm not working with the commission. The first
And
was
if the very
was
day
not here.
the EC announced recollation, I'm saying no, you are traveling on different tangents. There's confusion all over.
So how
now
do
who-
you
make I
count
determine
them?
it is the voters, the
Constituents.
constituents.
Yeah.
So announce to them, oh, okay, because of this problem A, B, C, D, we are going to do rerun. So get up, starting
Come
your
If you
seatbelt,
say my
and go and
patient
vote
is
again.
missing and all of that, it has been tempered with, and you still want to work with those ones, okay.
All those nice
Just
seats.
to cut all those long stories short.
short.
I'm an nene. Like I call the funami, how much do you need? Always we bring me one guy the time. Call one me pen
Yes.
reprinting. I conduct another free fair election because the constituents are saying they will not see this person on the ballot paper and vote for this person, and now you are declaring that person. So who voted for that person? Now? So why from the first results, Ike the officers who the first announcement or whatever.
They declared the
Yeah,
winners.
yeah,
then
How
later
on
on.
earth, returning officer Agro make a pink sheet? How? And that's your number one document. How?
Still interesting times.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
melody might still be happening.
Something
but
similar
Well,
that happened in the
in
latter
the-
part of the 8th parliament
might-
last
might
year.
be happening
Yeah.
again.
Yes.
Where we see the
So, I now maybe number 3 can do this job. That's why he has been doing. With what lies ahead,
Yes.
with all the experiences
Yes.
over the period. I think that is why they would want to maintain him. So anyway, even though I would want a woman, they came over time and I'm had
Oh, the Kachamagale had all.
Oh,
Not only.
women day. The men day, women day. We have the men, but
Yeah.
how much more having the women? Anyway, so let's get something from Article 57 of the Constitution, talking about the President of Ghana. So there shall be a President of the Republic of Ghana who shall be the head of state and head of government and commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces of Ghana.
Yes. That's why in the past we put Jamaha, Abala the soldier woman picking.
I got it. Don't go. No, okay. One thing we've missed out is the ADC of the president whilst delivering the State of the Nation collapse and on duty. It's one development that I would wish. It is part of their training, but then that is why, like someone like me, I've given a signal to someone, but I was also not happy that no one noticed the fact that someone was trying to,
The whole
and all
thing.
attention was just on the president, and I
The-
didn't get it.
Honestly,
But,
the whole thing is Mekobe Padiento Chemejewa. I'm sure many female could Toro Kunoje and Noja Gomeno.
oh, where Jonah?
I know female could Noja Gomena.
I think Jonah on the spot. Do what one now a signal there, maybe we ten notice so fine. So how
So,
about
in
them
Zimmer-
notice oh day?
Indime Kimi Ho 4 Hejrado Kaka vai parade Peteko Elefit. And then you
happens,
start
so-
somewhere. No, it by the Jagomecho Tepede
Yeah, grandma, maybe it's one thing knowing yourself
self.
and able to identify be le minutes kila ndele jojo de nyeji
Yes.
allo ndemele jojo de
jojo.
jiwo. And also another thing, acting. Be oh, me na me bubu neyi.
Nei.
Allo oh, maybe me there mechanism do me one the ka verona do kunye be I can because maybe State of the Nation within 45 minutes
Minutes.
there avo allo an hour avo. I can make them find you just go
But
45
see,
minutes
maybe
in a military uniform is like a whole day.
Banye bia like medical team at the kemeli ke checki afi were you there?
Oh,
Like,
that's the same conversation we are raising. That's the point I'm making. But
Embolo
Enyadokwe.
fifi like matang bolobe e feel nde
Nde
elia
liao.
happy the
Yes.
parade
Yeah.
put your peto. Ni matang
Yeah.
bolo. Kake the instant ya mele bolobe one question ke nde ka kweva tam na mhenu ojo kwenye be like matwa na signal
Yeah,
alo ofe do nyebe adkude doji.
Enyawema.
Maybe that's the training back
Yes.
dodgy. Ela be amiele yile gbogbo le yile gbogbo.
Yeah.
Still no one was able to recognize be ndele jojo.
Yeah,
So we
Jojo.
all say tami everything gbogbo Akufo-Addo ko pon mi le we're not seeing
Yeah.
what was behind Akufo-Addo.
Mhm.
And to share ko tro
Throw.
He was
saying-
confused.
And going forward, you just see the
Let's
issue of
commend
appoint.
Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh.
Oh,
At
okay.
least eja agba.
One day,
And one day he came around. But no, Tedano na me
Yeah,
While
because
some
I'm a
people-
chichi
I'm a
over,
collapse.
over,
I'm a
yeah.
chichi collapse.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm a
a Ghana
chichiela.
eat,
Yeah.
But no no hela me no yane na me before he went to call them.
And also,
that's why
he's-
the
that's why
medical
he's a
team
doctor.
at the parliament daily, like, me go me handle situation and you because Yama collapse and maybe why just structure there, allow, nane wa take it out
Yes,
of the house.
structure
But
will
then,
be okay, but now
Oka tame shame ba ko fu dem.
You
nke won ko,
know,
akobe,
your life matters. If you are
and
not
that-
healthy,
That's why I said going forward, the Ghana forces should look at the people they appoint. At least young blood will do than
One
the
man
old.
kwa
Because,
mumo, ocho
see,
Ghana.
I'm a babu Ghana got
yeah,
many
but
signal.
cause situation ma join choma, me go be.
I'm making me.
Question are there, question mark are there, LMU security services.
Yes.
From
why,
the
why will you be
recruitment,
getting to
yeah.
that age? Eh?
I'm my recruitment. I'm a chichi.
I'm a chichi.
Oh, but then,
So
like,
they were the.
it's-
I'm
it's
a
alarming
good
that-
yeah, say the
recruitment
refugee.
It's
process.
alarming that a whole president personal bodyguard
Yeah.
yeah. general collapse at that moment. But then,
as
three
for,
faces
no,
now.
as
Yeah.
for collapsing,
Ella
hello,
Messi,
Pani
Amen.
Yeah.
Ejona. It's a
Ejona.
normal thing.
Yeah.
But
My
my
parade.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
my call is-
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my call is they should look at the people they are going to appoint for that position again. I think the young blood will do than the old age. Seriously.
Tanocho, young, energetic.
And
Men
I was
to be their
yes.
personal
Young
bodyguards.
Toto Cheno no.
Experience, yellow mellow.
If you are a young person, young blood,
Rank, when you rank,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you deserve
Rank.
the gate. When you
Oh,
are a
okay.
young man, they feel you deserve the gate.
Where
But I can't cheat. You deserve to be
The
behind
back.
the president.
Anyway.
No
All right, so
whatever.
let's conclude on this one. So going forward, we'll be having some education on some of these things as well individually. Measures you, me health are very paramount. Then
Yeah.
health you, someone will take over. So rather sit at home, treat yourself, and come back. And and so the next one is the president shall take precedence over all other persons in Ghana, and in descending order, the vice president, the speaker of parliament, and the chief justice shall take precedence over all other persons in Ghana. President Epo Obeteta, after speaker, vice president, speaker Vava, chief justice, York Poledolo.
You remember the question? What's your number?
Three. So
remember
number
that
3 is
question?
here. Number 4 is the Chief Justice. So 3, before assuming office, the president shall take and subscribe before Parliament the oath of allegiance and the presidential oath set out in the second schedule to this constitution. 4, without prejudice to the provisions of Article 2 of this Constitution, the subject to the operation of the prerogative rights, the President shall not, while in office, be liable to proceedings in any court for the performance of his functions or for any act done or omitted to be done or purported to be done or purported to have been done or purporting to be done in the performance of his functions under this constitution or any other law. That look all the president to protect you. I thought for all we take off protect you as a president la. Some people cannot want to how. So the final one here, the president shall not, while in office as president, be personally liable to any civil or criminal proceedings in court.
That is the bad aspect. So President Akufo-Addo right now can do anything. And can talk to why he can just be working free.
I can know Jovo annoying 10 years.
10 years after, after me at
Akonya
and that is the bad aspect. We should be able to hold the people accountable on the spot. As soon as they go wrong.
Abele Donald Trump, what dollars yeji?
Yes.
Yes. But still,
even South Africa, can be all president them way. So,
yes.
Ejona,
But
10 years
Ghana-
my nya, but I nya kuku get
Ghana and things are going this way.
but one thing I you know, we heard from the president, and NDC Duji, the president elect, the NDC Dujila, you are linked with the constitution. So let's see which parts of the constitution. We know Article 71 office holders, so the film, you have S. Grasha,
Yes.
is it going to be the constitution, a petelo, because a bullet fee over ho at you has been in earnest, near over Juma 71 to where. Work
What do I will
and
them?
so we are expecting that in
See.
earnest, you get the word joy in earnest. You'll be meeting with heads, leaders. On
I
the
can tell you, those are no issue to them. These politicians, all the issue Article 71 and co, they are no issue to them. Now the issue is how they will extend the ruling era, the year, from 4 years to maybe 6 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, so when you monitor the conversations, when you monitor the conversations all around, they were like, now that these people have taken the majority of parliament, what about if they amend the parliament to extend the years? That means we are going to stay in opposition for only God knows how long.
But the question is it possible?
Oh, it's possible because
It's possible.
It's possible.
What meaning can I ever know? No, because actually African countries, so you will be condemned.
Yeah.
But leaders so over the G4 was open no second extend open extend now.
But
But
But Ghana is appearing right now. We all agree that the 4 years is not enough. The
So
4 years
no
is
we
not
all
enough.
agree on. Mama like ma va get ZG
Eh,
man like na mi benu
no
ibe
ibe
ya
wo.
wa va ZG vo ape wa va.
They are going to put it through parliament, all right. But this is a situation whereby we don't have the hang parliament when the debate at time. What debate in middle?
The second term of President Akufo-Addo, him like 4 years is not enough. Imagine we have another year
Yeah.
of the hardship. Imagine yourself being in another year.
Can you imagine?
Just 4 years, you
I-
felt
yeah.
it to the bone, your marrow. And an additional, you know, so if I'm 26, I'm how will it
So
I mean, I
so
think the 2 terms is okay. It's
No,
because
the 2 terms shouldn't be automatic.
The 2 terms is not automatic.
yeah, I
the
know, but then like in
But
general,
the
yeah,
4 years, let's say 4 years,
4
one
years
term.
is okay.
4
years is okay.
To us, to somebody like me, I'll say the 4 years is not enough.
4 years
it's
is
not
a
enough.
long. It's really
It's not, if you should
your
receive
child
the
at age 4. I do a kuchifena no.
but if you do the breakdown, I realize the 4 years is not enough. Can you imagine where I am being voted into office as president? I use 1 year to sort out the books. Second year we now set the ball rolling. Okay, then the third year community start preparing for a next election already.
But before you come into
you are
office-
taking over from.
So
So let's take 2016, 2017 for example. 2017, I'm going to know you.
Yes.
Eko okojo afe no
Nyonyo.
make a pedo
Ewe.
makes it
Yes,
easier. So
yes.
what happened after COVID va? When you were touting but no 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020.
Yeah, all
So
of
what
a sudden
happened
go.
2020? Kwa 4 years is enough.
Yeah.
It
And-
depends
It depends the one you are taking from.
And for us to know that the one you are taking from Pagban is for you to come out and then give us account.
Yeah.
This is what you came to meet in the past. If you may have fun, so let me say about to cover vovo. Eka wait ever dogo nuka we no.
And I'm happy President Akufo-Addo said they have left almost $8 billion. So if the issue is almost doesn't work in accounting, it needs to be definite. In accounting terms, you need to be definite. Come with the figures. So almost means what?
So if you came to meet Ghana Infrastructure Fund, the Sinking Fund,
Sinking Fund,
Stabilization Fund,
yes.
ESLA, Energy, never meet with what check what that I.
That ain't. Yeah, almost.
So you couldn't give us any breakdown. So you were mentioning, I figure your benefits from free SHS, and the fact check reveals that it's a different thing. We have about 3,135,754 you will benefit from free SHS, and this figure is different from what the
They give
government
us,
says, or they give us all the time.
yes.
So you see, it depends. Let's say, for instance, I'm not an economist. Gake, let me alem kude me afito me afenu jojo. I realize that this government for the first year on top globe menye no mele rosy ko ava ko apiko. Ele bo wa kwa gbala me ata be you wa water pepe ble edungo no love vovo. Anami anyale no le pele me akozo dengo. I think that was when people said they would say they should give them honeymoon and all of that. It's for them to be able to use some period to get to the books, and they've met with a lot of people on how to go about with the implementation of some of their policies. So a lot will be done. Tomorrow is January 7, and Mia Anya Aleike and Wava Ano for the 9th Parliament. So now we have 276 constituencies now. And then we have 4 independent parliamentary candidates
Yes.
for the majority. And then
I think
I don't want to be
I think the 4. I think 3 out of the 4 also
publicly wants to
work with the NDC.
NDC. All right, so we know at by close of Egbezame. Me abade me the one ogbe. Akwa get a chome.
And you man the coffee do dara lo GPT.
Jene ya
Me
call
la
it
dog,
don't
eh.
call about doers and afford them. Na be coffee chaga ba gbele nule nowhere. All right, so bring us that of I think you have that of the president elect.
Yeah.
Okay, the biography. Read it.
Okay. So John Mahama, President John Mahama. I'm coming. Okay. So he was born on 29th November 1958. He's a Ghanaian politician. And the president-elect of Ghana, having won the 2024 elections there. So, but then let me go to his early years. So he was a member of the Gonja ethnic group in the Savannah region of Ghana. Mahama hails from Bole in the Savannah region. He was born on Saturday, 29th November 1958 in Damungo.
Oh, come here.
Come here.
Oh. Benyak Polo.
Call me. I won't call me. Like you got that Saturday one now.
Yes.
An area in present-day West Gonja district. His father, Emmanuel Adama Mahama, a wealthy rice farmer and teacher, was the first member of parliament for the West Gonja constituency and the first regional commissioner of the northern region during the First Republic under Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So, for politician is
he's from a political
home
family
or background.
Yes.
So local following the footsteps of his father. Mahama's father also served as a senior presidential advisor during Ghana's third republic under Hillman Leoman, who was overthrown in the year 1981 by Jerry John Rawlings. Mahama had his primary education at the Accra Newtown Experimental School before going to boarding school at Achimota Primary School. He completed secondary school at the Ghana Secondary School in Tamale. He then proceeded to the University of Ghana, Legon, receiving a bachelor's degree in history in the year 1981 and a postgraduate diploma in communication studies in 1986. As a student, he was a member of the Commonwealth Hall, Legon. He also studied at the Institute of Social Sciences in Moscow in the Soviet Union, specializing in social psychology. He obtained a postgraduate degree in 1988 there. So, but then after completing his undergraduate education, Mahama taught history at the secondary school level for a few years. Any teacher, which is a good one there. Upon his return to Ghana after studying in Moscow, he worked as the information, culture and research officer at the Embassy of Japan in Accra between the year 1991 and 1995 there. From there, he moved to the anti-poverty and non-governmental organization Plan International's Ghana country officer, where he worked as international relations and also sponsorship communications and grants manager between 1995 and 1996.
Okay.
Yeah. So in 1993, he participated in a professional training course for overseas public relations staffs organized by the Japanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Tokyo. He also participated in a management development course organized by Plan Ghana in Nairobi, Kenya. So his political appointment as a member of parliament. So Mahama was first elected to the parliament of Ghana in the year 1996. So where he's a politician, not to the edge of politics. Agoma, many egbenya. Then I wasn't born.
That's why you're laughing, because that's to your surprise.
Yeah, because I wasn't born.
So he
1996.
rose through. Once
Yeah.
an assembly member, he didn't just came to, he was an assembly member, AC and all of that
Yeah.
to where he is today.
Yeah.
So we will get all of that
Yeah.
before you conclude his biography.
So elections. So he was first elected to the Parliament of Ghana in the year 1996. Elections to represent the Bole Bamboi constituency for a 4-year term. In April 1997, Mahama was appointed Deputy Minister of Communication. He was promoted to the post of Minister of Communications in November 1998, serving in that post until January 2001, when the ruling National Democratic Congress handed over power to the new Patriotic Party government.
As President,
Yeah.
former President Kufuor.
Yeah. In 2000, Mahama was re-elected to another 4-year term as a member of parliament for Bole Bamboi. He was again re-elected in 2004 for a third term from 2001 to 2004. Mahama served as the minority parliamentary spokesman for communications. In 2002, he was appointed the Director of Communications for the NDC. That same year, he served as a member of the team of international observers selected to monitor Zimbabwe's parliamentary elections. As an MP, he was a member of Outstanding Orders Committee, as well as the Transport, Industry, Energy, Communications, Science and Technology Committee of Parliament there. So those are some of his tasks. But then, as a minister and vice president, Mahama served as a deputy minister of communication, like I said, in April 1997 and November 1998. There, so continuing to expand his interest and involvement in international affairs in 2003, Mahama became a member of the Pan-African Parliament, serving as the spokesperson of the West African Caucus until 2011. He was also a member of European and Pan-African Parliament Committee on Cooperation on Cooperation. So in 2005, Mahama became the minority spokesman there. So on January 7th, 2009, Mahama was sworn into office as the vice president of Ghana with John Atta Mills as president. He also served as the chairman of the National Economic Management Team, the Armed Forces Council of Ghana, the Decentralization and Implementation Committee, and the Police Council of Ghana in his capacity there. So those are some of the distance or some of Mahama's history or his early lives and days in politics, I may say. Tomorrow we'll go on. So tomorrow we'll bring you the rest. Yeah.
All right. You're supposed to bring all today. Yes. What if Jesus Christ comes tomorrow and you don't have tomorrow? What if tomorrow never comes? Okay.
I'm not
So
sure,
at
yeah.
least we know who he is, and we are reminded just by my colleague this morning. A year he was born, what he has been rising through the ranks. That's what we always say.
Yeah.
He rose through the ranks. he rose to the rank. So during the campaign, you realize that people were asking, what does he want again? You have been this, you have been member of
Yeah.
parliament before, you have been DC before, you have been a member, you have been minister before, you have
So
been a
tomorrow
deputy
I'll
before.
bring to the listeners the personal life and interest, and as well as the honors and
You've
awards.
been this,
Yeah.
you've been that, what, and you've even been a president
Yeah.
before. You completed someone's term,
Yeah.
and then you came in as Joshua, taking Ghanaians to the promised land. And after serving one term, they say, okay, Joshua, you know what? You go back to Egypt and go and be with Pharaoh or whoever is
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Whilst President Akufo-Addo, takes us to another land. I don't know which of the lands we were taking, but we understand that he took us to the promised land.
Yeah.
And again, after 8 years, we
Yeah.
understand that Ghanaians say he should come back again. And I don't know whether it's going to be a continuation of what he stopped or is a
Yeah.
new era he's
So,
bringing in altogether.
What Ghanaians seen in him is that maybe they've seen him as the savior, Jesus Christ of our time. So that's why they brought him
Is that
back.
what you are saying, or that's what you think Ghanaians have seen in him?
That is what I think Ghanaians. Because look, the signs were showing earlier on, I think before the elections, that look, everything is just going bad in the country. Yeah. Because I will like, yeah, everything is just going bad. The economic hardship in the country, I think, is a worrying situation. But then,
Alright.
let's see what he brings to the table or brings on board.
All right,
as
so
the
as
president-elect.
Perry said, we can go on. We still have a lot to read. We also promised to bring that of the Honorable Speaker. He's also one of the members, the long-serving members of Parliament.
Yeah.
Enoanyi, Egale Nogeche, the night. We just pray for life
Yeah.
that he's able to complete a per second. The call is MPs. This Zanke Mehemile Jajadwegbe to go back to Parliament and at the of Umiako crossover. After crossing over into the year 2025, there's another crossover to happen. Egbezan Ike Agere Edupokpolo Alozikoko Yeme, which is the ninth Parliament. They've asked that you maintain Speaker Bagbin. All right. We have here. He'll be with us shortly. Dr. Bele will soon join us. A few chit chats. It's all about the day tomorrow, a big one for us. So Alban is the current speaker. Soon our days of Ghanaian speaker Ake born on September 24, 1957 at Sombo in the Upper West region. Honorable Bagbin is a graduate of the University of Ghana, 1977 to 1980, and the Ghana School of Law from 1980 to 1982. He holds an executive master's in governance and leadership from the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, that's GIMPA. His parents were Mr. Sansuni Bagbin and Mrs. Margaret B. Bagbin, who were both peasant farmers. He is the fourth child of 9 children of Margaret Bagbin and the 13th of the Bagbin family. Mr. Bagbin is married to Mrs. Linda Ofosua Obu Bagbin and Mrs. Alice Ejua Jonas Bagbin, the program officer of the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF office in Ghana. He's working, let's take the education. The former majority leader started schooling at an early age at the Roman Catholic Primary School, Sombo, did his secondary cycle education at Wa Secondary School and ended at Tamale Secondary School, where he earned his ordinary level and advanced level certificates before entering the University of Ghana in 1977. Well, many of you were not born. His working life experience took him to a number of establishments after school, and this, no doubt, enabled him to garner a lot of experiences that he brings to bear in his current political role. From 1980 to 1982, he worked at the Bureau of Statistics and Statistical Service as the acting secretary to the Statistical Service Board, while between 1982 and 1983, he worked as personal manager of the Eswal State Hotels Corporation, as ambassador or Continental Hotels, before sojourning to Libya to teach English at the Souk Juma Secondary School, Tripoli. When he returned from Libya in 1986, Mr. Baldwin joined the Achim Chambers, a firm of legal practitioners, consultants, and the notaries public as a partner. Between 1989 and 1992, he was appointed an external solicitor of the Credit Unions Association of Ghana, a Nee Negleshi family of Jamestown, and a number of private business firms in Accra. From 1993 to date, the former majority leader has been a partner of the Law Trust Company, a firm of legal practitioners, consultants, and notaries public. Well, it continues, but let me briefly engage the constituency communications, deputy communications director or constituency
Communication, substantive.
Okay, director
Yes.
of the party soon to be sworn into office. You are not yet in office. You are elected.
We are few hours away.
So until those few hours passes, you are still not in government.
No.
Honorable Sefaji Agama, good morning.
Good morning, Jijo. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, good to see you in the new year.
Yes,
Alive and kicking.
Happy New Year. I like your afro.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
And over the New Year break, New Year and Xmas break, I followed you in the social media, especially on Facebook.
What was I doing?
With those nice pictures. Thames, I will wear the picture. Hot, looking sweet. Anyway, I will take the opportunity to wish every listener of Global FM 105.1 a happy New Year. Dakpena oche amechicho be fike ho to ye jime de fi mi ho ga to die. Mi dakpena be ke mi bia wo pe vote wa. O mete mi ko o ja agba. O da kone mi ape MPO ho central honorable Edem Kofi Potosu Eduji Albert Duplola John Dramani Mahama cha eva kozie aide edojinemi jijo ke kpomi le nye be Ghana to homi deme ake me fia be mia be tame ele vivinemi be o evo ekimio. So we are just happy. We are saying thank you to the good people of Ghana be unami this overwhelming victory. Ne amekeke nye politics menyala akpo ejesi be the victory is something that I can describe as sobering.
Okay.
And abe me ne sesele na mela siwela kubera enya men vevebe jidudu eye enye jidudu keke afia be na bobodo kuwe nenye be elenuwa. Hello, nebe asubo edukwa.
Cheta pe kulosibe. Is it the jidudu ahogboga kona mita yellow eta onye sovereign, election olebe amade siande iko da kona menyebe wazamon popo ya ko fuda meji o kebon wanye bobo nyenye fesubo do.
Ya jijo enyade kai maglo nyebere. Nele nujira la sime amodo asiza kake customer deja agba troda agba wa won ke va plenu na wede eje be na da peni
Okay.
ezemena aba bele ke Ghana to ho da economy le gbososo ma enyi ma glo mi ape leader enye His Excellency John Dramani Mahama mi ape running mate the first female vice president to be Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman open nonome open body language edejesi de fiabe ami omenye dadala onyu kedo vabe yuava asubo Ghana duko maglebe hemia oyo mejela oche menye mi apete mata wan soya akeme kwese be mi ma paganto ha ni anya medo keke mirror the image of mi ape leaders so alebe mi ana wa reflect the society ji menye dadato menye nko enya nyi ne me ga don kunuzi oja elame fu blenam ela be to gbo mi pe fu mi blin be ma one pere mi one mi dujichera ti dudu ala
mi pe fu abe party
party
okay
ezemena to gbo mi dujichera enye nde keke nemele abeleke edo
Ebe doda si ekpe, amole mokoko,
Yes.
amofo allergy, alegbegbe.
yes
Okay.
ta vivia ke mi dujira ma globe enyaba amerika nemele da me buota me ano gbedura ne ma obe ne kpede mi obe nu ko bete ke mi gbla ne meton wa bete uchara ne mi wa pa ganto be Ghana to kakareji ke he ko demiama wa lemeda si otherwise la Ghana pe democracy la agblen le introduction we me alo earlier discussion be nana do call me the promised land jijo promised land ka eba mo ogbele
Yeah.
eba mo ogbele
Okay, you're not quoting me.
yes sorry for that earlier hitch ma globe we are not there we are nowhere near the promised land otherwise la duko kemela ejiano mi apete jo akepele kemi do Christmas ekple New Year la
Oh, I'm on drill. Oh. Did you visit? Did you
Jijo,
leave your house?
Jijo, medu esigbo.
Eh.
Even the knockout go here more than midnight. Never me get a guy with me. Kwela, didi alegbegbe. Anu isi apia
Would
said
it
la
not be the
fide.
education be minya wole rocket New York that danuti so
Jijo, education no na isi ayi ga kede out of excitement de. Midane. And enwe akwe eboda gba oji. Egache na mo be kutukuma atawa play. Ada. Haka vivie na be play knockout de ka. Winter jebe na value na kpera be de na play de. Chedu gbe view le chondi me. Fini le ga kpere gbado void do me. Yaka tawa jami de buma. Atawa play prepaid a. Atawa apka ope utilities wa. Ekpera anu mi obete nyende wa keke ma globera edole miango azoni le miango. George na mbe novinye. Ekeke chole vivie de Perry. Epe nuke kenao epe nuke ume ho de. Cho mi ape duklola John Dramani Mahama wa. Efia be apeto edutu ne do. Ne de menye do hi. Propaganda kple alakpa. Enume vivi numa ho kodeun le 2016 mola. Anyine do hi ekomiko ide level de. Enyune nye deka ele US. Fifie. Ema yi me ho no Ghana de. Media NDC penya gbo le go rekemo. Media NDC onya gbo. Mikli mi no doji mi ano he. Ake gbedeka no enka ya va yom. Ya be imeka le ponye le social media as regular as it used to be o. Tanu ka ajo. Ya be offer. Fifie data people jesu agbalo. Ne play data fifie la kaka be anya ko pim. Ever.
You are always posting on Facebook. I've also been monitoring you.
Yes,
So
I do a lot.
so
Kakela ekimi echara ntese data ele so expensive. Abenya ke ofanya he gblo. He me va kpobe eva la kponya tepe nye be iva do US for. Ape oja bede o vunku nei. You are make it all of me you ton po Ghana duko. Ale bene iva se project dewe alo policy doke Mahama hite tume. Hebi akodo duko kede ngo. Ape ke uko propaganda akok bleu. He will lose 2016 election day. He do fimila annually vale gbegbe pe Ghana tora mi wa vuda da garden to. Mi wa vuda da garden to ta yi kenye MPP to ke la do US bro chide. Ya china me via itro. Itro nende siare ke iche atonwa wa aba American ne. He Ghana he agbo atrova Mahama agba ba ko duke he aklo ne mi de. A George ne to ta idon sem. E doke he wa mele de ne ma weji. Indeed, mi ano video like beta brochi. US, UK, Ireland, Canada, Cleto, Miopete. At times, never play well. And the work global this 2024 election la you bought a penny over Dako. Remember, oh how? Miomi la bruchide. Obede. Pressure ke Ghana. Le mia du me viojila. Ebe 6, 7, 10 times. Eya le yoji le fimi. Ela bene dogwa me nekikli. Eko phone eyo offer. School fare. Offer. Eke. Alebela pressure va le yoji so much ale gbegbe bela you you me le duko mo chera enu keke me to duko me to le la you le feel it ara you agbova and indeed gede gbova lo edo ogbo amedo over the yan chova over wa agent don a party wa monitoring. I'm talking about professionals we chartered accountants we engineers who play agbalenya ganga ogbova ba pede mi on abegbe ho so eyi video ko he wa ko du plus e dem yaside ejile jonye mablo evo nyima ta express che wa del ataro kuma dakpene ma aga dakpene dume to bete bede yo we sen yo wa do makade jino be ma disappoint wo
Okay, thank you.
nebe mi le mozo hele tatra la fide de o me ga jo kaka penne apenu no chichi ne
Apo
bede
no jo,
e ke
no
click
jo,
awo no je chi ne mi owe ke mi de mi ano mi aro ku edodo
Yeah.
mi ase NDC at least NDC la mi si egbe wo emi ano vi ko ke mi nya degbe ncho mi si egbe wu arrogance la level let down pa be jo ma ma pe interaction de kala ele gbogbo na headmasters o be de SHS headmasters o be de fifie de o be nu vuson wato o be views we time de vai na nya headmaster e de to appeal ne philanthropist o be nu pere un pele zikbila o interdict ne dole school wo wu ne gbora wa de funawe edo yi ne program o le ji la speech ke headmaster ke akene speech and prize giving day allo those big ceremonies ola o ko speech at Jubilee House akwa cover impose de ji wa kene
All right.
ke fiabela the true reflection la is not coming out
Thank you.
ta fifie de ma gboro be de amenebe ya ikpobela amoje nupo ma meva zi ha do tela amoje nupo amedo ke ma ka se open call wa be do sibe petela o te probe susu e de gboro ta enye jesi nyu de be totro yi va Ghana abe Ghana kelela mi agbugbo aga ji Ghana echo wa nyenu wa yeye mi a reset fike onu gbegbela ko le mi abe judiciary mi abe department o plete pe gede o electoral commission number 1 ele mi reset fi mi o pete
Akpe.
be ma wa election day leti de ka megbe vochera meton pota ne parliamentary result o. It's a very, very serious dent on our political
All right.
image
We'll look
as
for
a
another
nation.
time and discuss that one. If NDC will be touching the EC in any way, is it going to be the chair alone? Alone, who is going and who are you maintaining?
It's
Oh,
a
that will
reset,
be-
overhauling, yeah.
Oh, okay, that will be a discussion for another day.
Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Sefaji
Yo,
Agama.
nka kene jeji na mi
Njejina
abete
Woche.
play
I have been
exam.
announcing our guests for a very long time, since the start of the show. I said 9 to 10, but unfortunately, he's a busy man, and on a day like this, many of my colleagues will be engaging him as to what will be happening tomorrow, if you understanding ahead of a chopper in Kekia, the inauguration of Miape Dukoike Dukokolola Halameke Ghana Tochia Menewaga Anno Yuonu Lefe Yuole Miangomea Echo Henyen Keke Ike Dulisia Hedo Meno Dakovom Eleti Deka Laji Tutu a month wa awon nenem wona ma legbefe egbanye zame toto na miafe se watakwefe me speaker hobono maintenance are the two deputies so che mia akpo deputies so polefe umo eleke ko do na ara me yo ale do vovo na 9th parliament of the 4th republic mia awaje dodo evedo kude wunti. Now we have 276 constituencies kude nganofi guanto pe emegegero lepe epe vibe pa ko dadame. Dr. Harrison Kofi Vele, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
How are you doing?
By His grace.
Okay, so he's the former lecturer at EPUC, and then now with our very own the university, the only technical university we have. Am I right?
Yes. I'm still with EPUC.
You're still with EPUC. So I saw you the other time on the campus. It means
I'm
that.
still there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he's still with EPUC. If you have a dog about Keke, he's a busy man, like I said. He's a big man too. I prefer get a BRG. And
Well, dodgy.
yo, mi oche. Na mi a awa nume de cover de pele mi ape enyasela. Obete kude cho. Alomacho be egben keke ya fe jajarado kakaka kona echo pe one now. You are the expert on this field, and you are the one we always fall on across. Henan Medede. But first off, we want you to describe the 8th Parliament. Lewegbo, maybe few words, sentences. Like 8th Parliament. How would you describe the 8th Parliament compared to the rest, the 7th, 6th, 5th? What Kakavado Bantoji?
And the 8th Parliament was a blessing for Ghana's democracy.
A blessing?
Yes,
In
parliamentary
disguise
democracy.
or a blessing?
a blessing for parliamentary democracy.
Okay.
Because that was the first time I had a hung parliament. And out of that, we were able to come out with some reforms.
Okay.
Because the framers of the constitution, that I anticipate the carry what about the party of the same number
Okay.
on your hang parliament too. And it happened. It was for a purpose. And the speaker coming from a different party apart from the ruling party. So the if parliament had a word moderated parliament, in the sense that the speaker was able to balance his tenureship very well. That is why you will hear the majority now advocating for his retention. I'm talking about Honorable Apenyo Markins.
Okay.
No?
Okay. Okay.
Some days ago, he was making the appeal that the NDC should retain Honorable Bagbin. Now he has been maintained or retained as the speaker. Why? He has done a lot for Ghana's parliamentary democracy. You know, he was in the first parliament.
Yeah.
Until the last parliament that he became the speaker, he has seen it all. It's a reservoir of parliamentary knowledge.
Okay, so he has seen it, so that's what someone would say. Enyune, namerechene
How? That is his personal side. How does it benefit the society now?
Okay. So we should
That is
leave
there.
every personal
This
whatever
is-
out of this. But miakpo reservoir ike wonye that we can
Yes.
okay draw.
And then in a second, I'll just demonstrate one of them.
Okay.
You know, when we started this Fourth Republic, Parliament, you know, is the weakest link among the state of the organs of state.
Why? How?
Because anytime there's a military takeover, the judicial functions, the executive function, but Parliament is relegated to the background. So you see that though governance was in process, Parliament existed for short periods within the first period, first Parliament, First Republic, Second Republic, Third Republic.
Okay.
Yes, parliamentary tenure, very short. But the executive and the military regime, judicial and the military regime were operating. So the capacity of parliament is weak. So that's why when we started in 1993, even the standing orders, parliament has to depend on the First, Second, Third Republic standing orders to regulate the business of parliament. Until 2000, that the standing orders were modeled. And it took us another 24 years for a new standing orders to be drafted for parliament. And then this was under Speaker Bagbin.
All right.
He facilitated it for several years. There has been that call for revision. 24 years. He has made it a project and then it has come to fruition. And then one of the reasons for retaining him is for him to see to the implementation of these new standing orders.
Okay.
Yes, it's a revised one, completely different, giving opportunities, broaden the scope of parliamentary democracy. Why? Now, with these new standing orders, backbenchers will now have the opportunity to speak. You know, sometimes MPs come to say, constituents say they don't hear of their MPs in parliament, they don't see him on the TV. But now, and you know, parliamentary structure, to move from the back bench to the front bench, you need not to do less than 3 terms. Not less than 3 terms. So before 3 terms, then they would have voted you out. So these new standing orders, they say that, look, the backbenchers, it's mostly the new people. a day is dedicated, according to doing the new standing orders, the last Friday of every month,
Okay.
dedicated to backbenchers alone to speak.
All right.
The floor of the heart. That's very beautiful. Now, this new standing order is recommending some committees to be chaired by the minority to enhance oversight responsibilities. So,
Sorry, had the assurance
committee chaired by the minority and then the rest, all aim at enhancing the oversight responsibility of parliament. That is the major
reform.
activity of parliament. And these reforms, you give credit to Honorable Barbin. So some of us, it's not a surprise to us. We knew that the work that he's doing, he'll be able to do this. And then another reason for retaining him, you see these large numbers, the overwhelming majority of the NDC, if not checked well, will lead to an abuse.
And is he the right person for
Sure.
that job? Will he be able to check his own people?
Yes, because he's been able to do that in the past. Hope you are getting it. That is why even the minority, the majority now, are advocating for his retention. Look, he is very accommodating, and then he's a peacemaker. Jijo,
Yes.
have you asked what happened when Parliament reconvened the last time after the break, after it was adjourned? Members of Parliament came, the NDC went and sat at the minority side, the MPP sat at the majority side. We have not been asking what happened, and then they just came and then there was no confrontation.
Okay.
It took the effort of the speaker behind the scene.
Because we understand before they come to the floor of parliament, they do
They meet in the speaker's lobby, discuss so many things. He was able to break to the floor and say, look, the image of parliament is at stake. Why don't you prevent the confrontations and go by the rule?
So why was it again that we saw the other side speaking to the camera, saying all manner of things about the speaker?
That is the politics.
All right.
That is the politics. 98% of parliamentary business is transacted through consensus building. It's just the 2% disagreement that we comes to the public, and that we think that is the picture or that is a reflection of parliament. But they do a lot behind the scene. And these overwhelming numbers, it is the belief of many, including me, that Honorable Bagbin will be able to control it. Other than that, you bring a partisan person, you come to pursue partisan agenda. And then that will lead to the abuse that we are talking about. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Bagbin, is a reservoir of parliamentary knowledge. He will know how to maintain all this very well for the development of our parliament. So that is why he's getting that overwhelming support from within and outside his party structure.
Okay. That's fine. So I may be agitating Bell Bogatier, because I was also saying I thought they were going to bring in someone new.
To start afresh again?
Yeah, maybe
To
a
steady
woman.
no, a woman herself in that capacity.
Yeah.
Now, Right Honorable Joyce Banforado. And then she excelled. Parliamentary business is also about the institutional memory, continuation. And then I believe for now, if you want the strongest authority in Parliament in Ghana, you can't go beyond Honorable Barbin. You can't go beyond him. When I was coming, I listened to you reading his profile.
Yes, I just stopped somewhere.
Sure.
I stopped somewhere. Just the
That tells
working.
you, yes. And then in Parliament, he has served as a member of Parliament, chair of several committees, minority leader, majority leader, minister, rose to speakership. He knows the dynamics. So that is why some of us, when that controversy between him and then Apenyomaki, we saw that Apenyomaki was going on a wrong tangent.
Okay.
Yes. It's not everything about Parliament that you take to court. And I blame the court too, in a way, about that. They should have referred many of the things back to Parliament for resolution.
So there
For
was an
past,
abuse there.
past speakers and past chief justices, anytime that issue comes to their arena, they say, look, this is a matter of parliamentary practice and procedures. Send it back and resolve it there. But this one, we saw the Chief Justice and could take interest, try to dictate to Parliament how it should operate. So how it ended.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Honorable Apenyomaki, who was very confrontational with the Speaker, now came back to
Calling.
plead.
That is a
So that tells you
process.
that it's a practice, procedure, not about the legality.
All right.
Yes. So you are now appealing to the Speaker to use his discretion to call.
That's why someone make a reference that we are not brothers and sisters. Don't call us your brothers.
So I hope you are getting it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you go behind the scene. That's why when that heat is generated in Parliament, they go to the Speaker's lobby. Speaker suspend the House, they go to the lobby and resolve it and come back.
So had it not been for his experience over the period, it could have been chaotic.
Very,
since
very.
The last days of
Yes.
the 8th Parliament.
Yes. And then, you know, one thing that we overlook about this 8th Parliament, that look, many of the, do I say, inflated contracts and then unnecessary contracts were blocked in Parliament. And then what I'm happy about, the way during the budget estimates, the minority was able to block the demolition of the Accra International Conference Center and the reconstruction. What is wrong with it? Are we not still using it?
Yes, they are.
But there was a budget proposal to pull that thing down and then rebuild.
reconstruct.
But it took the effort of the minority. So if you go into it, several issues were taken into consideration, and the minority provided that oversight responsibility, and it saved the nation so many millions of cedis and dollars. So you cannot rule out the benefit of the 8th Parliament, which was a hung parliament. Though it started on a controversial note, but along the lines, we were able to normalize things. But you can't take...
Did it end well? Because it started in a way we can describe. I mean, someone can describe. How about the ending?
And then now it ended well. Now you saw that peaceful atmosphere when they recovered for the last period.
Yeah.
That's why I say we are not now as in what went into it.
Yeah.
Because from the Accra International Conference Center where they were sitting, it has been confrontational. They came back to the new, the renovated chamber, and it was peaceful.
What happened?
We are happy about it, but we don't want to ask what went into it.
So the long break, when it was, suspended indefinitely, doesn't mean there were some talks.
Yes. So it took the wisdom of Babin to suspend,
Again.
adjourn, so that it will allow for space for engagement to lessen the tension before they come in. Because if they had gone back at that time, it would have still be confrontational. So sometimes you need that diplomacy around the person to engage in that win-win affair, so that it doesn't appear that one person has won, one person has lost. That is the approach.
Okay.
Let it appear win-win to everybody. That is what parliamentary business is about. Go behind the scene, talk, come back, put the picture.
All right. So to the experts, the hang parliaments was a blessing to Ghana.
Sure, because of the benefits. Though there were challenges, but the benefits outweigh the challenges.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I would say that
So,
the way we're able to save millions
Some
of
millions.
cedis for Ghana, the way we're able to provide some checks, you realize that we have been complaining about the what is the word being used? Parking our Supreme Court.
Wait, party.
Now they've blocked 2 members from going to the decision.
Yeah.
It has saved the country a lot. And also, things were not very clear about the waiver of $350 million for 1DC 143 businesses that we are not
I
aware
think
of.
over some 40 companies or so.
Yes, and then over the years, have you been able to do an analysis of the 1DC 143, the waiver that we give them? What have been the reciprocal effect of providing job?
Okay.
Have you done that analysis that we continue to give them
We are
waiver?
still looking for some of these factories anyway.
I hope you are getting it. So they've blocked that. Is it not a saving to the country?
It is.
They've blocked about $300 million again loan. So if it had not been for the numbers of this thing, if it were to be an overwhelming majority, they would have just pushed them through. And then if the speaker to be coming from the ruling party, they would have pushed all these things through.
Okay.
So doing the observation and analysis, you realize that the benefits outweigh the challenges. Though it started on a controversial note, those are some of the skirmishes around our democracy. It is not peculiar to Ghana alone.
Okay.
Other countries, they've also gone on that tangent before. That's why it tells you that the heat, the tension in parliament, if you are not able to control it, that is what it would degenerate into.
Me too. All right. So, Speaker Bagbin handled the 8th Parliament well and deserves the 9th Parliament with the open majority of the NDC that you believe to prevent any abuse, any form of abuse of the majority. He is the best person to control that. Okay. So, are there any lessons? Looking at both parties, we've already put them together. How the both parties also comported themselves, handled themselves in the 8th Parliament. Are there some lessons for us to learn? Because many people are praying, never again in Ghana's history should we have a hung parliament.
I'll pray for a hung parliament again in the future.
Okay.
We have learned our lessons, and then we're happy because that is why I said these overwhelming numbers, if you are not careful, bring a partisan person, they will abuse it. We'll just be pushing the legislation through easily. By a hung parliament, even before government brings its business to the floor of the house,
so
we'll be very
checks.
cautious. Will I be able to go through this? He said, yes. That check, that oversight is very, very important. And we can only get that when the numbers are very close.
Okay.
When the numbers are close, you'll be mindful. Will I get the numbers to push it through?
Okay.
That's why anytime MPP was coming to Parliament with the business,
You make
They-
sure that
are we going to get the numbers?
they call their members.
But this time round, NDC sending a bill to Parliament is assured of the numbers. Not where 1-2 members will travel and then we have to charter plane to bring them back. How am I getting it?
People from the hospital.
The hospital have to be carried in ambulance to go. So it tells you how important the numbers are. So I'll pray for a hung parliament in the future. If you have an overwhelming majority, complacency will set in. There will be that temptation to abuse it.
Yeah, we have the numbers. We have.
We have the numbers. We can push
Without
it through.
you, we
We can push
still-
it through. And then where now is pointing to the fact that NDC is getting to thirds because many of the independent MPs have indicated that they'll be doing business with the NDC. 184. They'll be able now. They have 183. Any of them align with, they'll get the 184, and then that is enough to amend a non-entrenched clause in the Constitution.
All right.
Yes. With that to test the Constitution, the non-entrenched clauses. You don't need a referendum. You just need to tell majority of Parliament, and then you are gone. So, which
So
ones?
with the amendments of the Constitution that the former president, now the president-elect, has, promised that in their government they're going to make sure when NDC come to power, they're going to make sure that they amend
No,
some
review.
review
The
some parts
constitution
of the
review.
constitution. It means there's going to be an easy work for them.
Yes, with that, the review report is there. What is left now is setting up an implementation committee to implement the provisions of the constitution review report. They got to a point that someone went to court. That stopped the process. So the court has ruled that they can go ahead.
Yeah.
So it's not a political will. And that is why during the election period, we advocated that all the flag bearers must make the commitment to it that when they come to power,
Yeah,
they'll see to the
just see to
implementation
it.
of the review. Because it will go to enhance the efficiency of many of the state institutions. As we speak now, 32 years of operating the constitution is enough ground for us to look at the loopholes. And it has come that many of the provisions are now becoming outmoded and they need to resolve. And when you read the constitution review report, very excellent.
Okay.
I have it, 578-page report, and then the proposals are amazing.
So there's no, we mustn't do any new works. We just go for those reports.
Because
set up
that
the
thing
implementation
is
committee.
it's over a decade, that is about 10 years. So definitely there will be some new. So we just need to refine it,
Okay.
not starting the process all over
All over
again.
again.
We just refine a few of the changes that have occurred over the period, and then see to its implementation. Because it talks about the capping of the Supreme Court. It talks about ministers coming from Parliament, majority of them. It weakens the oversight responsibility of Parliament. Just imagine many of the ministers who are MPs will be taking ministerial position. Many of the MPs will be taking ministerial position. And they are supposed to provide oversight responsibility of the executive. You see how it will be. They will not have the motivation to hold your government accountable. So you will be making my government unpopular. So for that matter, they will relax the system. But where they say that, look, let MPs do their parliamentary work, and then let ministers do their ministerial work, so that we have effective system operating, and then we'll be able to have that oversight responsibility undertaken very well.
Okay. Well, so the lessons, there are some lessons learned that going forward, you pray that we experience another parliament. Well,
In the context that it enhances oversight responsibilities of the legislature.
okay. Like we are already aware of, Choegba Kaka Vasede Echo. Veto fie nyi me kpaji dɔtɔ xe ɖe le miaƒe sewɔtakpeƒe me yilawo sia ame yiwo wotia fifie kaka miakɔ akɔ ge ɖe dukplɔla ƒe ziɖoɖo wɔnawo mea. Mia say one or two things about the swearing in processes. What will be happening today in Parliament? Let us understand the processes, what we need to know, what will be in place, who will be in charge, is the Speaker, who is the Chief Justice, who will be swearing them in and all of that till tomorrow morning.
So, per the information available, at 10 o'clock today, Parliament will meet to dissolve.
Okay.
The 8th Parliament. That they dissolve it.
Okay.
It has come to an end. And at 12:05, Tuesday, the MPs elect will meet, will convene in Parliament. And one business to be transacted.
Okay.
And that is the election of the Speaker and 2 deputy
Deputies.
speakers. So at 12:05, they meet in Parliament. They elect the Speaker. Now, the NDC, as the majority party, has proposed Right Honorable Bagbin. With their numbers, we don't expect MPP to provide a counter proposal.
Okay.
That will be fruitless. Because once you have more than one nomination, you take the process through voting.
Okay.
And that process will be presided over by the clerk to parliament. Not clerk of parliament, clerk to parliament.
Okay.
He preside over that period, the election of the speaker. So where you have only one person, and that is what is going to happen, likely. I don't foresee MPP nominating any person
Other
for.
person.
Yes.
That happened because of the hang parliament. That's
That
why
happened,
they
yes.
would have to bring in their,
Yes.
you know, their side speaker, and then NDC also have to bring in.
And I know it happened before. The convention is that the majority party proposes, then the minority agree, okay, fine. We agree to it. But 2004, under Peter Alajete, Right Honorable Speaker Alajete, late, he was the speaker under President Kufuor. The second term of President Kufuor, he didn't nominate Speaker Alajete again. They proposed Speaker Ebenezer Sechi Hughes. Then minority NDC now propose Peter Alajete. So it has to go through voting.
Voting.
They voted, and the Peter Alajete lost. Similar thing happened in 2000, the last of 2020.
2020.
So where they have more than one, they vote. So in this sense,
It's only one.
one, and I don't anticipate, I said, because of the numbers, you can't, it's overwhelming. And when they elect the speaker will be sworn in by the Chief Justice. So Chief Justice will be in Parliament at that time.
Okay.
He will swear the speaker in, then the speaker swears the MPs elect into office.
All right.
Then after that, they move to the election of the two deputy speakers.
After the swearing in before the election of the two speakers.
Speakers, yes.
Okay, so they have to elect those two speakers.
Yes. So then again, the constitution and then the standing order states that the two deputy speakers must not come from the same party.
Okay. Yeah.
They must come from different parties. So here, and then the convention is the ruling party usually nominates the first deputy speaker.
Then the other the second.
The other parties. By this sense, you are likely to get the first deputy speaker coming from Volta.
Okay. Some names already. Who? What are the names? Okay, let's get a few
One
names.
person.
We only have one person.
As the deputy speaker, first deputy speaker, and it's coming from Volta.
Okay. Okay. So the obvious choice.
Is-
Adaklu.
No?
Adaklu.
No. As a staff.
South.
And a now lawyer, well versed in constitution law, Bernard Ahiafo,
Oh.
likely to be proposed for the first deputy speakership.
Oh, okay.
And the second deputy speaker is likely to be an independent member of parliament.
It's likely.
Yes.
Okay.
Likely because if MPP is able to lobby and engage the NDC very well, they could take the second deputy speaker position.
Okay.
Other than that, NDC will propose an independent candidate, independent MP.
All right. So in the Hang Parliament, we had an independent candidate
Yes,
being the second
deputy,
Deputy
because it must not come from the same party.
party.
And then it was a compromise. So that's why I'm saying that if there will be that compromise, there was compromise because of the numbers. This one, the numbers don't matter. One side doesn't need the numbers from the other side.
Okay.
So in the
The
event that
likelihood is high that it could be an independent being the second
Yes,
deputy.
if-
If
they are not able to lobby well, that's MPP is not able to lobby well.
okay,
So when they finish with the election, then they suspend sitting. They don't adjourn, they suspend. Then 11 o'clock, they move to the Independence Square. You know, the president is supposed to be sworn in before Parliament. So the Independence Square is a parliamentary sitting.
okay,
So a chamber will be created for Parliament to sit with
Yeah.
a speaker for the president to swear the oath.
oath. That's what the Constitution, when we read it earlier, before Parliament.
Before Parliament.
Yes.
So because we don't have a big event center, if we were to finish the National Cathedral, probably would have.
Oh, okay. So it could have been of a benefit to us using it to swear in our president.
That's on the
Anyway,
lighter
that's
side.
That's just on the way.
So that is that we need a bigger event place or a bigger chamber for Parliament
Okay.
so that we can do the swearing in of the president before Parliament. Say before Parliament.
Yeah.
So we are moving Parliament to Independence Square. So at the normal cycle, it should have been Parliament alone with the invited the dignitaries
Dignitaries.
among the years. But it has become a national event big that many people go. So when you go, they are going to go by the rules of Parliament. Parliament will sit speaker, call the House to order for the president to be sworn in.
Okay.
Then they adjourn Parliament and then come back to reconvene at a date and time to be announced by the speaker.
And that will be announced tomorrow. There
By
tomorrow.
the
by the
speaker.
speaker.
Whilst adjourning the House, you say, okay, the House stands adjourned till this day, at this time, and at this venue. Because the speaker, in calling Parliament, will have to announce the date, the venue, and then the time. And then that is done through the clerk to Parliament.
Okay.
Then would have started with the 9th Parliament.
So tomorrow, the 9th Parliament, it's after the swearing in ceremony. It may officially starts work
No, they will start at 12:05.
after the
Swearing in.
Swearing in.
And then the election.
Okay.
That's the only business to be transacted.
Okay. In Parliament.
The law says that on that day, it is only one business. And then it is the election of the speaker, swearing in of the members, and then swearing in of the president before Parliament. And it will end for that day, and then reconvene. So speaker will announce when they will reconvene. And then that will be in the parliamentary chamber. No more Independence Square.
Okay. That's fantastic. So that's how it's looking. 10 o'clock today. So any moment from now, maybe if you are somewhere watching your screens or monitoring from social media, you should be seeing something going on
On
in,
there too.
in Parliament. That's the dissolution of the 8th Parliament.
Parliament.
Processes leading to the dissolution of the 8th Parliament.
Parliament.
So is that going to take us to the night? Is it going to be a long process?
No, I don't think so. It should be a very short ceremony. And then start dissolve. Those who continue in the 9th Parliament will come back at 12:05
Okay.
for the 9th Parliament to start. Start at 12:05,
Start at 12:05. Good.
presided by the clerk of Parliament
All right.
until
Before
the speaker is
sworn in.
elected and then sworn in.
Before. All right. I wish we could continue because these are some of the things we need to know going forward. There's the period in which we find ourselves. The times of the election, we're here talking about election, the processes involved. The EC was here educating us, NCC was here educating us. Now those things are done. What is next? We also need some information on what is ahead of us as a country. That's the constitutional mandate. What the constitution says must be done is what will be done today, leading into tomorrow 11, where the ceremony, the final one, the swearing in the vice president and then the president takes over the realms of affairs. All right, so both parties, the NDC and then the NPP, NDC being in majority, NPP being in minority, we have 4 independent parliamentary candidates coming in. Are we going to have a
MPs elect. There are no more candidates.
MPs elect. Yes, very soon there will be MPs.
They've moved from parliamentary candidate to MPs elect, and then
then
now
to-
MP.
Yes. Why? Then they'll represent us now in
Yes.
Parliament. Okay. So both parties, do you foresee any challenges intersecting business and Parliament? NPP being the minority, NDC being the open majority with the independent candidates. Some saying they want to do business with the majority. That is the NDC.
You see, what the fear we are entertaining, that the likelihood of abuse of power with these numbers. Because with this number now, NDC has a number to form a quorum, that has a number to take a decision.
Okay.
Without the NPP.
Constitutionally.
Yes. And per the standing orders of Parliament. And that is where I told you that with the 2/3, many of the non-entrenched clauses in the Constitution can be amended. So you don't know which proposals will come and which of the non-entrenched clauses that they would like to amend. And would it be in our interest? That is why we need to gauge. That is why we say we need an experienced person like Bagbin to balance the scale so that the minority does not become redundant. Yes, we should get the input of the minority. And you know that
Is it going to be a tough one for them because with Apenyo Makin being in the front and then together with the deputies, it's the majority, even though they are in the majority, are they going to find it easy? Some people believe that NPP like Kwaji Nogbenawe to the extent because they are in the majority, so they would want to be, because Apenyo Makin keeps using, we're going to hold the Alex the fire, we're going to hold the Alex the fire.
and then the low minority will have their say, the majority will have their way.
Away.
And we don't want it that way. They can have their say and they can have their way. No. That way, is it going to be in our interest?
All right.
That's why we need to engage. And if they want to have their way, they'll make the NDPP minority redundant. But we need their input. So that is where Apenju Markins, as leader of the house, of the minority side, need to be less confrontational.
Okay.
Now need to be diplomatic. Now need to be very engaging
Okay.
so that the NDC will also accommodate their input. It should not go to the situation where NDC will be tempted to ignore their input.
All right.
Because they will ignore their input and go ahead. But the outcome is, will it be in our interest? I hope you are getting it.
Yes.
That is what it is. So, a lot. And then, don't forget, the composition of the committees is on ratio basis. On ratio. So, each committee that you have more of NDC members than NPP members. So, it's going to be 1-3 ratio. That's how they...
So now that in the 8th Parliament we had the minority
Almost the same.
chairing the new committees.
There are some committees now, per the standing order, Public Accounts Committee, Subsidiary Legislative Committee, Government Assurance Committee. All these committees are chaired by the minority. You come to the other committees, it's done on ratio basis. So the number that you have, they calculate the ratio, that's the number. So even at the committee level, NDC is more than the NPP. So if they go to deliberate on issue at the committee level, the final outcome will be, let's put it to vote. So that is where I say NPP and the Apenju Markets need to be very diplomatic and engaging this time round.
Okay.
It should not be confrontational because they will not have their way. Because other than that, NDC will bully them with the numbers.
Okay.
It's an overwhelming majority. It's even, that is a fear that we're there. The NDC is even afraid of the abuse. So we believe with the demeanor of Honorable Barbin, he'll be able to balance the scale. Because in this, we need that balancing of the scale. MPP need to put the government on its toes,
Yeah.
and the government need to listen. Because they say the one charting the path does not see how crooked it is. So we need the opposition in it. So the opposition must divide the strategy now to engage, and their input felt in the parliamentary business.
All right.
Other than that, if they want to go from official, everything now they go to vote, put it to vote, put it to vote, and then they can't make a way.
I think this education should go on, the education on the majority of the NDC, especially when it comes to maybe passing of some bills and some other things, to let the people understand that maybe they've you know, had this consultation with the minority, so that the picture will not be created out there. And you're saying Yamik because they are in the majority, they're not listening to us. Because I foresee that we are going to be hearing more of that. Because we don't have the numbers, they are not listening to us.
Yes.
They have the majority, so anything, they are just pushing it through. They're just pushing it through. So people get to understand that, when they are in the parliament, they meet, they build a consensus. It's not, even though we have the numbers, but we are not doing it our way. We are having
listening,
the
we are
input.
accommodating the input of the minority. That is very, very important. Because they are there with wealth of knowledge and experience that will support parliamentary business. So there's no need to ignore it. You need to incorporate it.
Okay.
So don't say that you have the numbers, you ignore it. That is the temptation.
All right.
Eh.
Maybe you have a lot on your head then.
You see that? That is why we are saying that he has a lot to do. That's why when you put a partisan person there,
It's
that
dangerous.
person will be tempted to tilt along that line. The
All right.
interest of the party first. Interest of the party. No, this time
Must
is the
be
interest of the nation first.
Nation first. The interest of the nation first. Okay, if Isabaji was here, then it's in touch of one lower man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Eh.
So, to whom much is given, much
It
is
is expected
So we've given it to you. You are calling for it. And
that you've gotten it,
that you've
and then you
gotten
have
it.
overwhelmed.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So
All
it
right.
need serious management.
Yeah.
Eh.
All right. Speaker
Just like
Bakri.
how we go to it, fame management. This is the fame. How to manage. If you don't manage it well, to go
to
against you.
get against you. Let's be concluding. My people wants to come in, so let's be concluding on issues of the EC recollation. We'll end on that one. And if there are any other expectations of the new parliament, with what we have now, yesterday, ahead of the Tema Central, Okaikwe, and then Ablekuma
Ablekuma North.
North,
And the Techiman South.
and the Techiman South.
4 outstanding.
Okay, so what is happening? What's going to happen? What does this mean? Is there going to be acceptance of these people in parliament after the recollation? Because we are hearing that these people, we don't know them. You can declare two, different candidates at the same collation center as. So what is happening? What is the issue as it stands now?
As we speak now, and the Electoral Commission is mandated to gazette declared candidates. So if the Electoral Commission gazettes a person and present the person to Parliament, it's a duty of Parliament to swear the person in.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it mandatory?
Yes.
After their gazette, it's mandatory.
Yes. Once EC gazettes the person, Parliament must swear them in. That is the authority.
Okay.
So, as we speak, we were told yesterday that with Ablekuma North, within 24 hours, we'll be getting the outcome. You know something? Where the EC has been very disappointing is in this direction. EC has not opened itself for engagement.
Okay.
Many of these issues have been resolved long ago. Can you imagine 6th of January, 7th to be sworn in? We still don't have a full complement of our parliament. It's disappointing. Almost a month.
Yeah.
Why should we go on this tangent? Because The EC keeps saying, we are independent body, we are this and this and this. You don't operate with your personal money. You operate with public funds.
Yeah.
And for that matter, you are accountable to the public. Listen to the public. Get the input of the public. You don't know it more than everybody.
Yeah.
They are conflict resolution experts. They are ADR experts who can be brought into these issues to resolve it. But you close your doors, thinking that you know more than everybody. This is what will happen. You know, is it by coincidence that with Abdulkumanov, the EC decided to keep ballot papers in a library of a school, when you know that that seat is under contestation, for it to be bent. Now, the parties are saying that they can't get their P sheet. Electoral Commission, you can't get the P sheet. What do you fall on now? So you have gone for this, but you didn't keep it at a safe place. Was it deliberate? Is that where
it's supposed to be?
Then what happened to the police armory? When we kept them, can't you send them back there? But you chose to keep it at a school library. So EC need to be opening up their doors for public input into their activity. Though they are independent, we acknowledge that. But you don't know more than everybody. Incorporate other people. Other than that, they would have been recruiting temporary staff to help them.
Yeah.
They would have been recruited there. The same way, invite experts in that direction to help you with the resolution of these cases. But it's unfortunate. But I hope by 12 a.m. tomorrow morning, they will resolve the issues and then we'll get it through.
Do you foresee the dissolution of the EC, the current EC?
That would be speculative.
Okay.
But to me, the EC has not lived up to expectation. And I don't...
The period of registration.
Throughout, they exhibited that arrogance, that they were not allowing input. Look at the basic mistakes. Basic mistakes along the line up to this level. And in a month, you cannot collate results.
All right. Thank you so much. It's worth having this conversation coming your way. People trying to call, but we apologize. We did not plan to allow for your inputs. Rather unfortunate that it went this way. But we'll be having another set of conversation in the coming days. With that, would announce for you to ask questions that I was not able to ask on your behalf. Then me corner. I can't get Tommy Dota Flatch. I which I do there. A bambit stop a gamma go over here and tight. I'm Dota Flatch and I'm no call Kevin. I think yes, allow me quite good. If you want to consider if you miss a Dr. Harrison Kofi Belefenko, making a governance experts. And you got no fiala na AP University, who technical university. Well, afisi afi mi kpona le TV oji mi sara call it evo ye no mi agbegbe he one me the dynamic with the 8th parliament wonti leko ko demiaji abedu ko be demiaji alegbegbe ta nenye be senya o me de o nua o chata npo be demiaji ga kele pe no gbo no bu ibele pe do fe ke gbonala. We should have a repeat of the 8th parliament. That's the hang parliament. All right. So, and some other things. You kata yemi ko isi to koko ewenu egbe nkeki akakava senecho nu yo kata ga for the tenema onlo ne mi trogbo kwa mia ahe ukata venamiga ke the live proceedings of the swearing in la mia akoe adare mia gbole mia pe yavalanje live mia wetene mia ase aleike wona ko. Doc, thank you so much for your time with us here.
My pleasure.
Have a great day.
Yeah,
a happy new year. Okay, my name Joyce Ijafola. Perry was here, Frank Abo was here. Thames with the streaming live on Facebook. Keep listening. Urban Bates is up next. We're back tomorrow. Stay blessed.